I was a conscientious objector during the Vietnam War. Become a conscientious objector, you still have to serve, and I was assigned to work on a psych unit in Cambridge. People would come in quite psychotic. We would sort of put them back together, give them meds, and they would go back out again. In a matter of weeks, months, they would be right back in again because there was no community-based services to keep them supported in the community. That revolving door just kept on happening, and I sort of said, wow, something's wrong. So that was sort of the beginning of alternatives when we started in 1976. Our first corporate headquarters was a sunroom in a house in Uxbridge.
Back then, the community saw people with disabilities as people that were put someplace to be taken care of.
It was like a new adventure. It was like a frontier. No one had done this before. We started with 3 programs. We took 26 people, mostly out of Munson, in 2 group residences for 8, and the other one was an apartment program where they were more independent for 10.
In the early days, we actually had big public hearings and sometimes some shout-down matches and stuff like that with people because they were really very upset that alternatives and other organizations like us were trying to help people establish homes in the community.
Probably the next sort of key thing that we did is that we became directly affiliated with the Center for Psych Rehab at Boston University. We piloted a lot of their original work having to do with the psych rehab approach.
What's neat about it is that it's a very practical way of helping people because it's just looking at what are the supports that people need and what are the skills that people need to just make it in life.
Social exclusion is part of what people are attempting to recover from. Community membership is all about recovery and discovery. That someone can, for the first time, have a home where they have both voice and choice, where they have a job or a volunteer situation, where they actually are contributing and participating, and also having a friendship with someone from the community, where they have give and take and give and receiving without keeping count.
We always talk about living, learning, working, and socializing as like the 4 parts or the 4 environments in which rehabilitation takes place.
It's the community that has the opportunities for the home, the job, and the relationship for the people we serve. So we really needed to figure out how to bridge out to the rest of the community for the public good. We then realized that the sheltered workshop was not what we wanted to do. We were very mistaken of even setting up a sheltered workshop that was totally isolating. And so, maybe we can take this out-of-work mill and turn it into an inclusive community treasure for the whole region to enjoy.
Alternatives puts on music. They put on plays.
They turned it into a place that people didn't feel like they had to go to, but a place that people wanted to go to.
People with and without disabilities enjoying the arts, enjoying music, doing things together. It kind of rubs away all of those original fears and misunderstandings that we experienced in the early days.
Working alongside, living alongside, and also just participating in community events enhances all of our lives.
By alternatives taking that leadership role for the community, we truly believe that the community will be much more open to who we are in providing those opportunities for a home, a job, and a relationship.
That's what we're trying to do, is to enhance that capability of everyone in the community to know that there's no barrier.
And beyond that then, to develop relationships that are really rewarding and satisfying and mutual.
It was amazing to watch the transition to finding relationships and families and friends for these people, as opposed to having them closed up and nobody sees them.
I think people have a much more positive view of who we are and who we serve.
When each person that we serve can say that they have a friend of their own, that's when we've been successful.